Let's move to the correlations page to get a better idea of what we actually mean by correlation. Just click correlations in the navigation menu. Here the segments are ranked from lowest to highest. The ratio from the training data is shown in the blue columns, is reflected in the legend. The ratio from the validation data is shown in the grey columns, as reflected in the legend as well. We can hover over them to see the exact values. The green line shows the number of observations, or the denominator in each segment, to get a feel for its size. Now this looks pretty good, since the grey bars line up closely with the blue bars. The blue bars are essentially the modelled or expected ratio for each segment. Now when these segment definitions are applied against the validation data, which the algorithm had never seen during the segmentation process, the actual ratios line up close to the expected ones. They have high correlation. Now let's go back to settings and push the model further by allowing it to have more segments. The run that we completed earlier now appears in this table. Each additional one that we run gets added to this table, and it stays there until we delete it. If we click any of the runs in the table, when we have more than one run, the parameters that we chose for it will appear in these controls. So let's change some of these around and then show that when we click on it, that the values will reappear in these boxes. So we'll click this, and then we'll just change this name to something else. Click this, and everything gets magically put back to what it was before. So let's create a new one. Call it data mine run 2. I will add this factor in there, which wasn't there before. We will reduce this to 200 to make sure there are more segments. We'll leave everything else the same, and we will click Fit Machine Learning Algorithm. It estimates how many segments it's going to find. In this case, it estimated 9, and then as it finds more and more, it increments this. The actual number found could be more, could be less than what it estimated in the beginning. It's usually a little bit more, which suggests some bias in the estimation method. So we can see here the correlation has actually increased, possibly by chance, to 0.95. We can go to the correlations page and we can see how that looks. It actually looks pretty good. So here we've got more segments, we've got higher lift, and the correlation actually improved. Generally the correlation will fall as you have more segments, because with more segments the amount of data in each segment falls, and the reliability or credibility of the conclusions drawn from that segment fall. But occasionally the opposite happens, and the correlation increases. But more often than not, it will fall.